the prophecy?
On page 69, it's just got a picture of a butt.
Do you want to do this one? Or do you want Maple Road?
No, it's not Maple. It's definitely not Maple. Yeah, it is the 180th Street one.
Order pick.
As much as I want fish and chips, I also kind of want burger. But I can't get that without everything else. So I'll just be content with my fish and chips. Good idea, Nick. Thanks for figuring out lunch for us.
Chicken and chips.
No!
It's because Gregson's dead!
Gregson's dead! He took the fish and chips with him! Whatever.
Do they have fish and chips in IHOP?
Do you really want fish and chips from IHOP? Well, this is a mystery I have to solve right now.
Where to get some fish and chips?
Yeah, where can we get some fish and chips? There's Red Lobster, but I really don't want Red Lobster right now. There's some
Also look at how far away they are, too.
Yeah, good point. You know, yeah, that's probably a better idea. I'll look from maps, not from Google. This notebook does have a load of stuff about what the Reaper got up to these past 10 years. How about... We've never been here before, but...
What's it called?
Shucks, Fish House, and Oyster Bar. Oh, we're right in happy hour. I don't know what that does for us, but...
Damn you, Gregson, made us stop.
Made us stop to get our fish and chips. Oh, 119th. Yeah, that one.
We get clam chowder.
I'm good.
Fish and chips.
Fish and chips. Fish and chips. Sure, man. Is this a pickup order? Yeah. Okay. Names of victims, dates and places and stuff, and the last entry in there was the 31st of October. It said Rose for the place on that date, and then the name of the monk. There was a note about him being a criminal what got away from the Reaper in court 10 years ago or something. Be honest, boss didn't do none of that. He was just investigating the Reaper, that's all.
It's the same as the fish and chips. Same price.
You can do whatever you want. I just want fish and chips for myself.
Alright, do we want anything else?
I'm good.
Cool.
The personal opinion out of your testimony, witness. We require only established fact here.
This must be so hard for her. You can't deny it now, surely, Ryunosuke Naruto. What can't I deny?
That you are in love
Your
with.
face.
The note would contain the name of the final mark and the location where the assassination would take place. That's information that the victim could only have known if he was working with the Reaper.
So, who was to be this final mark?
Go ahead, Inspector Lestrade. Read the name for the court. The name that's written alongside the entry that mentions the Roos on 31st October. How do you read this, then? Reading's still not her strong suit. That ain't the problem, alright, hello? It's a funny name. It ain't English. It's hard to read. So it's someone from overseas. Let me have a bash at it. Seishiro, is it? Yeah, Seishiro. Shikuquaza, maybe. What? It can't be. Seishiro Shikoku. But that's Judge Shikoku.
Seishiro Jikoku. Certainly not an English name, right?
But that can't be right. I know Judge Shikoku, and I saw him the day before yesterday. He's here in London.
That's why we have the photo.
So I know for a fact that the man hasn't been assassinated. As I said, the Reaper failed. Oh. Gregson missed his chance to kill his mark and return to British shores. But the Reaper wouldn't tolerate the mistake, so he killed the inspector personally. That's silly. The Reaper, of course, being the accused. Barrick Van Zeeks.
It's an undeniably logical argument.
Kazuma, you planned for the trial to go this way all along, didn't you? I have something to say, bitches! Look at my boot. Pray forgive the discourtesy of filling my hollow chalice whilst I stand accused of murder. Lord Van Zeeks. The accused has no right to speak uninvited in court. You will return to the dock. I will say nothing of whether or not I'm the Reaper. That's the task of this court to decide. But there is one thing I can say unequivocally. Owie! That girl is no detective! What? What? No, that's right, I ain't! I'm an inspector! Repeating rumors heard around the yard, reading entries from a notebook of unconfirmed origin. That's not testimony, it's practically a script. No doubt the rest of this trial will go exactly as you've clearly planned. Does. Your hatred of me is understandable. In your mind, I'm sure I am the Reaper, who sent your father to the gallows all those years ago. But you're in danger of becoming a far more sinister Reaper yourself, by attempting to have me condemned with this feeble excuse for testimony. What did you say? Mr. Naruto, this is our chance! Stab him! I will stab you! My lord, the defense requests that the defendant be allowed to speak. You may be privy to important information relating to the testimony just given by the witness. Unicorns are my thing.
Very well, I'll make an exception and grant the request. The defendant may remain in the witness stand for the cross-examination.
And allow me to toast the court's impartiality.
Don't raise your glass in my direction, sir. Don't you bite your thumb at me. Counsel for the defense, begin the cross-examination immediately.
Owie! At once, my lord.
For some reason, it is not working. not get our fish and chips.
In other words, it shows that Gregson was basically acting as the Reaper. Not you and all! That ain't the only explanation, is it? He could have been investigating the Reaper in secret. And that notebook said what he found out. If I may, when originally people began referring to me as the Reaper, I didn't object. I believe the power to intimidate the London's criminal classes into compliance with the law to be beneficial. But you carried out your own investigations into the true identity of the Reaper, didn't you? Yes, and those investigations proved conclusively that Gregson was one arm of the Reaper. One arm? What you on about? The Reaper's victims were all extremely shrewd criminals at the top of their game. There's simply no way one person could have taken them on alone. The Reaper is an organization. With you at its head. I didn't say that! That's... I had spies at the yard keeping me abreast of Gregson's movements, letting me know when he was elsewhere. So I'd been able to check the most recent entry in his book. I knew the location. You knew it said Groose. Believing it to be a reference to the Gentleman's Club, I went there on the day in question to investigate, alone. So that explains why several members of the club claim to have seen you there. But of course, the inspector was not there. Because at the time, he was making his way to the steamship docked on the northern coast of France. As shown by the passport found in the victim's metal truck. How did he know that part?
Because we said it.
Did we say that?
Mm-hmm.
Very well then. Back to your testimony about the contents of this notebook. Fine. Something wrong, Mr. Naruto. You seemed a little shocked by something a moment ago.
Oh, maybe he didn't.
Oh, no, it's alright. I'm overthinking this, aren't I?
Maybe we didn't say the...
I think Van Zeeks has the right of it. I think this is very scripted, and Cosman has no idea he's being played.
Hold it!
But that will come later. Stuff? What in particular do you mean by stuff? Well, besides the victims' names, this other name kept cropping up. What other name was that? It's the one I told you yesterday. The same name written over and over again. You mean... Assassin. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm. That her name means assassin?
Yes.
We just that yesterday.
No, we did not.
Yeah, I did. I thought you did.
You didn't say it out loud.
Oh.
Were you even listening yesterday? Assassin. The assassin. Well, when you say it like that, that sounds a little obvious. Gregson was the tactician, the one who came up with the plan of attack. He investigated the marks thoroughly, finding out when they would be vulnerable and who to use to get at them.
But the person actually executing his plans was someone else, you're saying? If that's true, then the Reaper does indeed start to sound like an organized group of vigilantes.
Ah, and perhaps what it said on the passport document. Permission for the applicant and one additional person to travel. Could that additional person have been? Clearly
Sorry,
assassin.
that was hilarious.
Clearly the assassin who was meant to take Seishiro Jikoku's life. Gina, can you confirm that? Against the final entry that listed Grouse and Seishiro Jikoku, what name was written? Oh, well, that's the only entry that didn't have a name next to it, as it happens. What? It just had like a question mark or something there, I think.
In other words, Gregson himself didn't know the identity of the assassin in that case.
But Gregson was the one making the plans, was he not? Oh, how infuriating. A nameless assassin. You're saying that the mark listed was Seishiro Jikoku? That's what I said. Funny name if you ask me. And I thought your name was odd. So pleased to have lost my crown there. Mr. Jikoku is the presiding judge of Japan's Supreme Court of that one.
I remember the man. He came to our country as a visiting student 16 years ago.
Studying international law and diplomacy under your tutelage, Lord Strongheart.
That bearded young fellow was a very able man, I must say.
So Lord Strongheart was Judge Jikoku's mentor.
If I'm not mistaken, he returned to Japan 10 years ago now.
10 years ago? After my dad fucked the maid.
That's correct. In the aftermath of the Professor case, his reparation was organized immediately.
Dots.
It's a mystery why such a man would be listed in the inspector's notebook.
I didn't think it was possible, but the mutiny has got even worse now. Maybe I'll just keep talking.
Hold it!
What do you mean a criminal? Judge Jikoku is no criminal. Wait. He does have a criminal record. We know that. Oh, do you remember what Father told us? That Judge Jikoku did appear once in court here in Britain. It was related to the Professor case, I'm sure. Yes, of course, you're right.
Seishiro was trying to mitigate Genshin's guilt, so he took to the stand to testify. But he got a little carried away and, actually managed to break the witness stand. He also said some contemptuous words about the British Empire, for which he was charged.
It was a pitiful situation, yes. I'd forgotten all about it, but I prosecuted that trial too, as it happens. Okay, yeah, when you get to it. Yeah, we know that he did it. He was considered to be an adjunct to the professor proceedings, you see. But he was acquitted, after being told to make reparation for the damage caused to the stand. And there you have it. Have what? Surely the accused hasn't forgotten his own rule. That there's no saving anyone who faces the Reaper in court, guilty or innocent alike. What? No? Are you suggesting that the reason Judge Jikoku was targeted for assassination? The man was sent back to Japan immediately after that trial. The Reaper had no time to do his work. But then, 10 years later, the mark returns to Britain once more. Perhaps now you start to see just how vindictive the Reaper is. Come on, that's absurd. To take someone's life for that? Isn't the whole premise of the Reaper absurd? Killing those who have been found innocent? Clearly the rules by which the man operates are beyond a sane person's comprehension. But... Right, I've had just about enough of this. Gina? All this nonsense about the boss planning to kill people. It's cobblers! Come on, Edo! Yes? Thoughts? Why aren't you saying nothing? Why? Why aren't you yelling out objection or something? What? You've got to find a flaw, you usually do. Usually? Someone's lying in a question, you gotta work out who it is. Please, for the boss.
Shut up, child.
I would love it if he slammed the gavel and, like, the unicorn's, like, horn breaks off.
That outburst was an insult to the court and to your own testimony. I might have known that a common pickpocket from the back slums could make a detective. When this trial is over, you will forfeit your warrant card, Miss Lestrade, and also your IHOP membership.
No! It's so hard to get into that! I've had it with the lot of you. It lies every bleeding place to... what? It lies every bleeding place you look in the world, ain't it? Well, I've had enough. Gina, you're not making any sense. Stop being so cockney. So have I. After that little speech of Gina's, I've made up my mind. To do what, Mr. Naruto? There was one point in this cross-examination when something that was said just didn't sit right with me. One statement that seemed odd. Oh, do you mean... I'm not going to let Gina's plea for help fall on deaf ears. And we're back to this. Okay. What is it, though? Because we don't have evidence against it. We just know that... Can I do the fucking hair now? Damn it. Alright, well that was my only idea.
Let's watch again. It's because it stopped.
It's so vague and... Well, I guess we need to... We haven't pressed her on this statement, so... I want to thank you, Gina. You helped me find my resolve. What? What do you mean? Amongst everything we've heard during this cross-examination, there's one thing that defies explanation. One inconsistency.
What? An inconsistency?
Really, Odo? I don't quite know what it means yet, but... Yes, there's an inconsistency in something that was said by... You! There we go. I figured it out. By you, Kazuma Asogi. Me?
Is this some attempt at filibustering, counsel? Prosecutor Asogi has given no testimony.
What are you suggesting I said that was inconsistent?
You let something slip that you shouldn't have. When I present the relevant piece of evidence, I imagine you'll realize what you've done. Very well then, Counsel. Go ahead. What evidence reveals this alleged inconsistency in something Prosecutor Asogi has said?
About the
So glad I caught
Take
that.
that!